You know, there's a big secret most of us carry, especially as we get older. It's not a dark secret, not something to be ashamed of, but it's something that hangs in the air, unspoken. Have you ever felt that quiet hum of curiosity? Perhaps a little apprehension about what truly lies ahead as we gracefully step into our later years, especially after 75. We talk about health, finances, travel, but there's one profound topic that often gets pushed to the very back of the conversation, almost as if acknowledging it might make it happen sooner. And that's the natural, inevitable part of life's journey that we call death. The painful reality is, by avoiding this conversation, by not truly understanding what's involved, many of us miss out on some incredibly valuable insights that could dramatically improve our lives right now and offer immense peace of mind for the future. It's not about being morbid or dwelling on the end. Quite the opposite. It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge, embracing our journey fully, and ensuring our final chapters are lived with dignity, purpose, and comfort. We're often told what to avoid in old age, but rarely what to embrace about this ultimate transition. In this video, we're going to gently uncover 5 hidden truths about death after 75, insights that every senior must know, not to cause worry, but to bring clarity, comfort, and even a profound sense of liberation. These aren't scary revelations. They are perspectives that can transform your present and prepare you beautifully for whatever comes next. So, settle in, because I promise, by the end of our chat today, you'll feel a sense of calm and control you might not have expected. And watch to the very end, because there's something truly surprising waiting for you. Something that could change your outlook entirely. Now, let's gently dive into our first hidden truth. And it's a profound one. The conversation about death often begins far too late. Think about it. We plan for everything else in life, don't we? Our careers, our retirements, our holidays, even what we'll have for dinner tomorrow. But when it comes to the inevitable final transition, many families shy away from discussing it openly and honestly until a crisis hits, or a serious illness makes it unavoidable. This isn't just about practicalities like wills and medical directives, important as they are. It's about the deeper, more personal aspects of how you wish your final journey to unfold, and what truly matters to you in those precious moments. The truth is, waiting until the last minute to discuss end-of-life wishes can create immense stress, confusion, and even conflict for your loved ones. Imagine a situation where your children, in a moment of profound grief and pressure, are left to guess what you would have wanted. Did you want to be at home, surrounded by familiar comforts, or in a hospital? Were there specific songs you'd like played, or stories you'd like shared? Did you have a particular spiritual or emotional need you wish to be met? These aren't questions that can be easily answered when emotions are running high and time is short. And sometimes, the very people who love us most might make decisions they believe are in our best interest, but which might not align with our deepest desires, simply because those desires were never clearly expressed. This hidden truth reveals a quiet urgency. The best time to talk about these things is when you're well, when you're clear-headed, and when you can articulate your wishes calmly and thoughtfully. This isn't about rushing towards the end. It's about living fully and intentionally, all the way to the very last breath. Starting this conversation early, perhaps by just a little, allows you to take control. It's an act of love for yourself and for your family. It alleviates the burden on them, giving them the peace of mind of knowing they are honoring your true wishes. And for you, it brings a profound sense of calm, knowing that your preferences are understood and documented. It might feel uncomfortable to bring up at first, but think of it as planning for peace, not planning for an ending. You could start simply by saying, "You know, I've been thinking about how important it is that we all understand each other's wishes as we get older. And I'd love to share some of my thoughts with you, and hear yours. You could even frame it around a TV show or a book that touches on the topic, making it less personal initially. Practical steps here include things like creating or updating your will, establishing powers of attorney for both financial and health decisions, and, crucially, completing an advance directive or living will. These documents are your voice when you might not be able to speak. They allow you to specify things like whether you want life-sustaining treatments, how you want pain managed, and even your preferences for organ donation or funeral arrangements. But beyond the legal documents, the real magic happens in the conversations themselves. Share your values, your fears, your hopes, and what a good death means to you. It's a chance to reflect on your life's journey and articulate what truly matters. Perhaps you've had a friend or a family member whose passing brought unexpected complications because their wishes weren't known. Learn from those experiences, not to dwell on the sorrow, but to empower yourself and your loved ones with clarity. Remember, this isn't a one-time chat. It's an ongoing dialogue that can evolve as your perspectives change. Revisit these conversations every few years, or after significant life events, and make sure your loved ones know where to find these important documents, placing them in an easily accessible but secure location, and telling a trusted person exactly where that is just as important as creating them. It's about ensuring that your final wishes are not only clear but also accessible when they are most needed. This hidden truth, once acknowledged, transforms the end-of-life journey from something feared and chaotic into something that can be approached with wisdom, grace, and an enduring sense of control and love. It's truly an act of profound kindness to those you cherish. Now that we've considered the immense value of open conversation and planning, let's move on to our second hidden truth, which holds a beautiful insight. The focus of your life naturally shifts from relentless achievement to the richness of legacy and relationships. For so many of us, especially in our earlier years, life is a relentless pursuit of goals, career advancements, raising families, accumulating wealth, ticking off bucket list items. There's a constant drive to do more, be more, achieve more. And while these pursuits are certainly valuable, as we move into our later 70s and beyond, many people find a profound, subtle shift occurring in their priorities. The competitive edge softens, and a deeper appreciation for connection, for the intangible gifts of love and presence, takes center stage. This isn't to say that purpose vanishes. Quite the opposite. Your purpose simply evolves. It becomes less about doing and more about being. It's about the quiet satisfaction of watching your grandchildren grow, sharing stories from your past, offering wisdom gained through a lifetime of experience, and simply enjoying the warmth of human connection. This shift isn't a sign of slowing down in a negative way. It's a beautiful blossoming of what truly matters. It's an opportunity to mend old fences, to offer forgiveness, to express gratitude, and to ensure that the people who have shaped your life know how much they mean to you. Many find that the greatest regrets people have at the end of their lives aren't about missed career opportunities or financial gains, but about unspoken words, unresolved conflicts, or time not spent with loved ones. Embracing this truth encourages you to prioritize those relationships now, to pick up the phone, write that letter, or simply sit quietly and truly listen. Your legacy isn't just about what you leave behind in terms of possessions. It's about the ripple effect of your love, your values, and the impact you've had on the hearts and minds of others. It's about the memories you create, the stories you share, and the lessons you impart. Living this truth means consciously nurturing those bonds, knowing that these connections are the most enduring and meaningful achievements of all. Moving on to our third profound truth. Physical decline doesn't mean the end of joy or purpose. This is a particularly sensitive point because as we age, our bodies inevitably change. Mobility might decrease, senses might dim, and chronic conditions can sometimes emerge. The common narrative often suggests that these physical changes equate to a diminished life, a winding down of happiness and meaning. But this is a hidden truth because it's a fallacy. While physical limitations are a reality for many, they do not dictate your capacity for joy, your ability to learn, or your inherent purpose. Life in your 70s, 80s, and beyond can be incredibly rich and fulfilling, perhaps in ways you never imagined. The secret lies in adaptability and reframing. If you can no longer hike mountains, perhaps you can discover the beauty of birdwatching from your window or exploring local parks. If reading small print becomes challenging, audiobooks open up entire new worlds of literature and learning. Many people find new hobbies later in life: painting, writing, gardening in raised beds, learning a musical instrument, or engaging in online courses that spark intellectual curiosity. Your purpose might shift from being the active provider to becoming the wise mentor, the compassionate listener, or the family historian. Joy can be found in simple moments: a warm cup of tea, the laughter of children, the beauty of a sunset, or a heartfelt conversation. This truth encourages us to move beyond a narrow definition of what a fulfilling life looks like and to embrace the incredible resilience of the human spirit. It reminds us that our minds, our hearts, and our capacity for connection can remain vibrant even as our bodies age. It's about finding new ways to engage with the world and with your inner self, focusing on what you can do, what you can enjoy, and the profound wisdom that only comes with age. Don't let physical changes trick you into believing your best days of joy are behind you. They are simply evolving, waiting for you to discover them in new forms. And this brings us seamlessly to our fourth powerful truth. You have far more control over your end-of-life experience than you might imagine. This isn't about defying the inevitable, but about empowering yourself within it. For many, the idea of death evokes images of being helpless, of being at the mercy of medical machines or difficult decisions made by others. But this is a hidden truth because, through careful planning and clear communication, you can significantly shape your final chapter to reflect your values and wishes. This ties back to our first truth about open conversations, but it goes deeper into the practical and personal choices available to you. Consider the options that exist for care. Do you wish to remain at home as long as possible, surrounded by your familiar comforts and pets? Do you want to utilize hospice care, which focuses on comfort and quality of life, allowing you to live as fully as possible in your final months? Or do you prefer hospital-based care with all available medical interventions? These are not hypothetical questions. They are real choices that you can make now. Moreover, you have the right to define what comfort means to you. This could involve decisions about pain management, whether you wish to have visitors constantly, or simply the kind of environment you'd like around you. Advocating for yourself means understanding these options, discussing them with your medical team and your family, and documenting them clearly. It also means understanding your right to refuse medical treatment and to make choices about your own body. This control is not about escaping death, but about ensuring that your journey towards it is one of dignity, peace, and alignment with your deepest desires. It's a powerful reclamation of agency, reminding us that even in the face of life's greatest certainty, we still have the capacity to choose how we navigate it. This understanding is profoundly liberating, allowing you to live without the fear of an unknown, uncontrolled ending, knowing that you've done everything in your power to ensure your comfort and peace. We've journeyed through some truly insightful truths, and now we arrive at our fifth and perhaps most comforting hidden truth. The greatest fear isn't death itself, but rather dying alone, or dying with the heavy burden of having not truly lived. This might sound counterintuitive at first. We often associate fear with the unknown, with the very idea of cessation. But when you speak to people who are nearing the end of their lives, or those who work closely with them, a consistent theme emerges. It's not the act of dying that causes the most distress, but the possibility of profound isolation, or the deep regret of not having fully embraced life, loved deeply, or pursued what truly mattered. This truth offers an incredible invitation, an invitation to live with intention right now. If the fear is dying alone, then the powerful response is to foster and cherish connections today. Reach out to family, reconnect with old friends, join a community group, volunteer, or simply strike up conversations with people you encounter. Loneliness is a profound human experience, and it can be particularly acute in later life. But you have the power to combat it by actively seeking out and nurturing relationships. It's about building a web of support, a network of love, so that when the time comes, you are surrounded, literally or figuratively, by the warmth of those who care for you. Even in moments of profound solitude, knowing that you are deeply connected to others can bring immense comfort. And if the fear is dying with regrets, then the liberating truth is that it's never too late to address them. Have you always wanted to learn a new skill, visit a particular place, or say something important to someone? Is there a past hurt you need to forgive, either in yourself or in others? Perhaps there's a dream you put on hold for decades. This truth encourages you to gently explore those lingering feelings. Sometimes, addressing a regret isn't about grand gestures. It can be as simple as writing a letter, having a heartfelt conversation, or taking one small step towards something you've always desired. It's about finding peace with your past and living your present as authentically as possible. This isn't about a frantic scramble to complete a bucket list, but a quiet, intentional effort to align your life with your deepest values. It's about living so fully, so authentically, and so connectedly, that when your time comes, you can look back not with a sense of if only, but with a profound sense of I truly lived. This truth transforms the end-of-life journey from something daunting into a powerful catalyst for living your most vibrant, connected, and purposeful life right now. It reminds us that every single day is an opportunity to cultivate joy, connection, and a deep sense of peace. So, as we bring our conversation to a close, let's take a moment to reflect on these 5 powerful, hidden truths we've explored today. We started by acknowledging that the conversation about death often begins too late, but we learned that by having these gentle, open dialogues now, we can bring immense clarity and comfort to ourselves and our loved ones. We then discovered the beautiful shift in focus that often occurs in our later years, moving from relentless achievement to the priceless richness of legacy and relationships, reminding us to cherish those connections above all else. We also confronted the misconception that physical decline means the end of joy or purpose, finding instead that adaptability and a reframing of perspective can unlock new and profound avenues for happiness and meaning. Then, we empowered ourselves with the knowledge that we have far more control over our end-of-life experience than we might imagine. Through careful planning and clear communication of our wishes. And finally, we just talked about the most comforting truth of all, that the deepest fear isn't death itself, but rather isolation or living with regrets, which beautifully calls us to live fully, connect deeply, and find peace with our past right now. Remember, my dear friends, these aren't truths designed to create worry. They are insights intended to bring liberation, peace, and a profound sense of empowerment. Small changes in how we think about and approach these aspects of life can make an immeasurable difference to your health, your happiness, and your overall well-being. Not just in your later years, but starting today. This isn't about hurrying anything along. It's about making every single moment count and approaching the full spectrum of life with wisdom and grace. You have so much wisdom, so much life experience, and so much to offer. Don't let unaddressed fears or unspoken wishes diminish the brilliance of your journey. Embrace these truths, talk about them, and let them guide you towards even greater peace and fulfillment. I truly hope this conversation has resonated with you, and perhaps even sparked some valuable reflections or conversations within your own life. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experiences, or any insights these truths have brought to you. Please feel free to share them in the comments section below. Your perspective is valuable, and by sharing, you help create a supportive community for others. If you found this video helpful, if it brought you even a little bit of comfort or clarity, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That tells me to create more content like this. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to our channel. We're here to share more helpful, empowering content designed to help you live your best life at every age with confidence and joy. Thank you for spending this time with me. Live your best life at every age.